I'll never forget the feeling. I was in Geneva, Switzerland, set to give the keynote speech at a global conference, and my brain was completely offline. The jet lag was a physical wall. I was panicked. A colleague handed me a small white pill and said, "Take this. Go over your notes." The pill was modafinil. The effect was not a jolt, but a quiet, profound awakening. The fog just evaporated, replaced by a clean, laser-like focus. It saved my career that day. But as a doctor, a urologist, it ignited a new, urgent question. My entire world revolves around men's health, hormones, and function downstairs. If this pill could so radically retune the master control center in the head, what on earth was it doing to the engine room, to the testicles? Today, we're going deep into the science behind that question. First, let's understand what modafinil is. Crucially, it is not a classic stimulant like Adderall. The medical community classifies it as a eugeroic, or a wakefulness-promoting agent. Think of amphetamines as flooring the gas pedal. It's a brute force approach that dumps adrenaline into your system, leading to jitters and a harsh crash. Modafinil is more like an expert engine tune-up. Its primary mechanism is elegant. It works by selectively influencing your brain's neurotransmitter balance, starting with dopamine. Imagine dopamine as a messenger carrying a vital note between nerve cells. Normally, after delivering its message, it gets pulled back and recycled by something called the dopamine transporter, or DAT. Modafinil works by partially blocking this transporter. It doesn't cause a massive, unnatural flood of new dopamine. It simply lets the dopamine that's already there work for longer, enhancing its signal. But here's where it gets more sophisticated. This action also has downstream effects. It's known to increase levels of orexin, a key neuropeptide in the hypothalamus that acts like a master on switch for your brain's wakefulness centers. It also boosts histamine in the brain. Yes, the same chemical antihistamines block to make you drowsy. In the brain, histamine is a crucial signal for alertness. The combination of these actions is what creates that signature modafinil state: clean, effortless focus without the jittery, anxious stimulation of other drugs. But the brain is the CEO of the entire body. Its commands ripple through every system, especially the endocrine system, which is run via the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, or HPG axis. Think of it as a corporate chain of command. The hypothalamus in your brain sends out an order via GnRH. The pituitary gland receives it and dispatches two memos: luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH. LH travels to the Leydig cells in the testicles, the factory floor, and tells them to produce testosterone. FSH travels to the Sertoli cells, commanding them to manage sperm production. It's a beautifully balanced system. So the question is logical. If you're using modafinil to supercharge the CEO's office, do better orders get sent down to the factory floor? Does modafinil directly increase testosterone? After a deep dive into the clinical literature, the answer is a firm no. There is no strong, direct evidence that modafinil acts on the Leydig or Sertoli cells, or that it directly influences the pituitary's release of LH or FSH. Its chemical structure isn't designed for that. It is not a hormone, and it is not a testosterone booster. However, the connection is far more nuanced, and this is where it gets interesting. We must explore the powerful indirect effects. Let's talk about stress. When you're fatigued, stressed, and your brain is foggy, your body produces more cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it is the direct antagonist to testosterone. High cortisol suppresses testosterone production. By promoting a state of alert calm and reducing the perception of stress and fatigue, modafinil may help lower your brain's cortisol-releasing signals, therefore creating a less hostile, more favorable environment for testosterone to thrive. Next, consider libido. While testosterone is the hormonal bedrock of desire, dopamine is the spark that lights the fire. Dopamine governs motivation and the anticipation of reward. A brain that is foggy and fatigued is a brain with a muted dopamine system. which is a major, often overlooked factor in low libido. By creating a mental state of alertness, focus, and confidence, modafinil can absolutely create a more favorable mental environment for desire to flourish. It gets the engine of motivation running again. And finally, let's talk about behavior. The increased drive from modafinil often translates into concrete action. It's not just the motivation to go to the gym, but the laser focus to ensure perfect form and mind-muscle connection. It's the mental discipline to forego sugary junk food and stick to a clean diet that supports hormone health. It's the energy to engage in competition or tackle ambitious projects, all activities associated with a healthy hormonal profile. The pill isn't a hormone, but it can be a powerful catalyst for the behaviors that optimize your hormones naturally. But now, we must discuss the other side of this coin. As a doctor, my first oath is do no harm. My experience was positive under controlled circumstances, but modafinil is a powerful prescription drug with serious, non-negotiable risks. The most terrifying is Stevens-Johnson syndrome, a rare but horrific skin reaction that can be fatal. It can start as a simple rash and rapidly become a medical emergency. This alone is why you must stop immediately and see a doctor at the first sign of any rash or hives. The psychiatric risks are also significant. For someone with a latent condition like bipolar disorder, it can trigger a full-blown manic episode. That intense focus can morph into severe anxiety, irritability, emotional blunting, or obsessive thinking. Furthermore, while it promotes wakefulness, it does so by force. This can disrupt your natural sleep architecture, robbing you of the deep and REM sleep that is critical for hormonal regulation and physical recovery. This isn't a free lunch. You are borrowing energy from tomorrow, and that debt eventually comes due. It's prescribed for narcolepsy for a reason. Taking it off-label as a smart drug is a gamble. You're taking a tool designed to fix a broken system and applying it to a healthy one, which makes the results dangerously unpredictable. So, what is my conclusion as a urologist all these years later? It's one of profound respect. Respect for a tool that can so cleanly bring a mind back online, but also a deep and abiding respect for its potential dangers. Modafinil works on your nervous system by fine-tuning your brain's messengers. Does it work on your testicles? Directly? No. Indirectly? By boosting motivation, reducing the perception of stress, and promoting healthy behaviors, yes, it can have positive downstream effects. But that is a side effect, not its purpose. This is the reality of modern medicine. There are no miracle pills, only powerful tools. And a tool is only as safe as the person wielding it. If you're struggling with brain fog or fatigue, the answer isn't a pill from an online pharmacy. It's a conversation with your doctor to find the root cause. True, sustainable vitality doesn't come in a blister pack. It comes from understanding your body, respecting its complexity, and making informed choices with a professional you trust. Stay curious, but above all, stay safe.